what happened that night, unlike what everybody think, it was all spontaneous events. Um, it's sad to say, but Vaughn at that time wasn't at the right place. I wasn't at the right state in his mind. You know, you guys could take it how you want to take it from there, but he wasn't in the right state of his mind. So when he had a album release party, once we left the album release party, from there it was complete confusion. The Vaughn travels with 3 to 4 security, armed security, because he's
He
a
has security.
of course he has security. He can't carry a weapon. Oh, he gotta have security. He travel with 3. This is a superstar. You think we're not gonna make him travel with security? He traveled with
That's
three.
what one of the big questions is like. Wait, was he just moving with street guys? Why didn't he
Oh,
have security?
Vaughn had 3. I traveled with 1 security that moves with Vaughn, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Vaughn traveled in a bulletproof truck. So all this extra speculations about security and not doing a job. And not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. And they protect and love Vaughn more than any security would. Matter of fact, I will put Vaughn's life in his guys' hands before I put on security. That's how close they is. Those guys will lay their life on. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even say would lay. They did. 2 died of the situation. Yeah. And those 2 is not the only ones like that. All his guys is like that. But you guys don't know what happened, bro. So, I'm gonna go on a quick description of what happened that night so y'all could really know what happened. We left Opium, which was his album release party. We're like, I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on Entourage. Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb because that's normal routine. Yeah. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Vaughn decision, and he had the right to make those decisions.
Wait, hold on. So the y'all left Opium and went to a different club,
which we didn't even know was going to act.
Okay, so the club that's in that security footage that's not Opium.
That's not Opium.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's an after hour spot that we didn't even have no acknowledgement that we was going to.
Okay.
So really, everybody jumped in the car. I drove to the club with Vaughn in the Hellcat. So going out the club, he jumped into the bulletproof truck, and it was him and maybe 2 or 3 more individuals in the drive. So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb or to the hotel, and Vaughn literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue. So already confusions were already started, because normally if we got an after party or we got anything we're going to, we know as a team, everybody know to be on point. You know what I'm saying? We're traveling with a real deal gangster, a real stepper, so everybody gonna know how to move. But from that night, I don't know what it was, maybe it's God timing, I don't know what it was, but Vaughn completely went on his own course that night.
So he didn't call no one saying, hey, yo, we going here. Maybe the message didn't get relayed?
No, he literally told his driver he's going to an after-hour spot, and then we all caught up with him later.
Okay, so by the time you guys get there, what's going on?
By the time we get there, he was still in the car. It was him.
So he didn't go in the club yet, or
no,
the spot. He didn't go to the spot.
Remember, he was in a bulletproof truck.
Okay.
So it wasn't no concern. He was at the venue before. So we got there. When we got there, everybody jumped out the car. And we're like, okay, cool. We're thinking we're about to go in. And for some, like I said, this is, I can't make this up. For some reason, Vaughn wasn't himself. I'm not gonna lie. This is somebody who's more on point than security at. This somebody if I'm on the road with, I'm with him. Like, cause he know how to move, he know how to pick spots. Like, yo, this man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life as far as knowing how to conduct himself properly. But for some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes, and everybody outside is cold and it's shivering. Like, everybody outside wondering like, what's going on? So people starting to go back in the cars, like all the entourage, everybody was with, they went back in the car. So I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Vaughn, went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Vaughn, bro, what's going on? Like, you know, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. So at that time, this is where the security come in at. At that time, we're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Vaughn's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. So they do their rounds. They go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no threat. Now, common sense, if you guys know, security, nobody cannot go inside a club with a weapon. No matter who you is, you cannot enter a building with a weapon, especially a venue. So being alert that we're going into the club, all security put their weapon inside their cars because we're thinking we're going inside the club. Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys came to the driver's side and they said, hey, we seen so-and-so. I'm not gonna say no names. We seen so-and-so in the car. And instantly.
In the car or in the spot?
No, we seen, he literally, our car is right here.
Yeah.
And so-and-so put up right there. So you had one car, which is one car before, you had another car, which is our car right here, and you had other people parked, scattered everywhere else. And one of Von homeboys came to him and was like, hey, we seen so-and-so in the car, he's asleep. And he jumped up. I'm talking about like.
Wait, so the other dude was sleeping? Or like, or just like, just not aware type shit?
The other artist was sleeping, unaware. He just put up to the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give nobody no name.
Yeah.
Whatever. He put up to the club, and I believe it was just him and his driver. That's what supposedly what it was. Him and his driver, and a McLaren or some type of car they had. So one of the guys spotted him, and they came to the car where me, Vaughn, BJ, and a female, and one more person was in the car. And he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Vaughn just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go. And with that reaction being so fast, we're like, hey, hold on, slow down. I'm like, hold on, what we about to do? Hold on, like, we got jewelry on, all type of stuff. Hold on. Bro, from that split second of his friend coming to tell him, Vaughn was out the car. And this is somebody who's normally, like I said, calm, collective, look around all the areas, just fill all the blanks because he been out here. So he know what to do. For some reason, that night, he was completely off. He jumped out the car. By the time Vaughn jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling. From that 1.5 second of brawling one of his so-and-so accomplice came through the side of a white car that we didn't even know was with so-and-so. That's how unaware the situation was.
Yeah.
Came out the car from the side, like y'all can see on the camera, and shot Vaughn and me 4 times. I think he let 4 or 5 shots off. Vaughn got hit 3 or 4 times. I got hit in the leg, started bleeding, went for cover. He was down.
Are you on that security footage too? Like,
yes.
Okay.
I'm the one that's moving as the altercation happening. I'm the one that's right by him, moving back. When the guy came and shot him, I was the one that was right by him. That's when the bullet hit me. So it was God grace that I didn't get shot nowhere else but my leg.
So like in helping, because I think people are looking at the social media, and but you're talking about like people that weren't there speculating. Some people online saying, "Yo, what happened is all the guys left them. They just left them out there." Like Vaughn's last words were like, "Yo, listen, y'all let him get up on me like this," that type of stuff.
I'm gonna clarify all that. That's false. First of all, the only people that knew what was about to happen, and you got to remember, when I say knew what was about to happen, I'm not talking about 5-10 minutes resonating what's going on. I'm talking about 1.5 seconds of his homeboy coming to the car where it's me in the passenger side, one more person in the driver's side, I believe was his DJ, him in the back with a female, and one more of the guys sitting by the side that I just called in previously to come smoke,
Yeah.
because it was cold outside. I'm like, yo, come in, let's smoke right quick, because I don't think you're ready to go in. So from that 1.5 second jumped out, that situation happened. Security didn't know what was going on. The half of the guys that y'all blaming didn't know what's going on. By the time everybody realized what's going, if you peep at the footage, Vaughn and his one security is the only one that's by Quando physically. Everybody else is in the back. Why do you think it's a back trailing? Nobody even got a check. They're running to the scene. By the time they're running to the scene, shots fired. And then not only, bro, nobody was running from the shooter that shot Vaughn, because y'all could clearly see that once he shot Vaughn, everybody moved back. People were still there. It's the police that started shooting uncontrollably.
It looked like that person got shot too. So this was also confusing, right? So when Vaughn is shot, like, and he's whatever, people are saying that some whoever was trying to take his chain off or something, because it looked like he was being held up a bit, and then somebody punched that person.
Vaughn was shielding himself with so and so. He literally was holding him up. That's how strong he was. Even while being shot, he know what's going on. He felt it because he was conscious the whole time. So he's holding the individual as a shield. It wasn't nothing as like, he got on top of him, no, he was literally holding him as a shield. And those shots that was fired by the individual that shot Vaughn and myself was the only shots fired from those individuals. Every other shot was coming from authorities. They started shooting everywhere. It was like a blanket full of shots going on. So when you see everybody taking cover, they wasn't taking cover away from the shooter from Vaughn. They were taking cover because they didn't know where the shots was going from. If you look, people was running left, people was running right, people was running to the club door because we didn't know where shots was coming from. You got the police shooting anybody with a weapon that day got killed. If you got a weapon that day on you, you got shot. That's how much shots was getting rained. So you guys are looking from the one angle of the camera and looking like, oh damn, they run away from the shot. And wasn't nobody running away from listen, bro, we didn't know where all the shots was coming from. So it's automatic. If you don't know where the shots coming from, you're gonna regress to see the situation. And the same guys that you guys are talking about, they came right back to Vaughn's side. And if you could tell in the footage, after the shooter that shot Vaughn got shot from the back, which people thinking it came from somewhere else, it came from the back. He got shot from the back. If you look at the footage, he tried to walk back to the car and he got shot and he tumbled back. He still had his weapon in his hand. So while they progressing to Vaughn, he's swinging the weapon like this. People was regressing back, but everybody was still alert to go get Vaughn, because clearly it took 4 or 5 people to bring Vaughn into the car to bring him to the hospital.
Is there any truth to any of the rumors that the person who was still like entangled with Vaughn after he got shot was, even though they might have been scuffling before, he was trying to help Vaughn?
He was screaming, yo, he shot, Vaughn shot. I'm not too sure how much he tried to help, but I do know he was screaming, he shot. Could have been from a panic stage, could have been from instinct, not sure. He was just screaming that he shot.
Okay, so when we talking about some of these narratives that's going on now, Asian Doll is on Twitter, and I don't, however she's getting this information, she's saying what Vaughn's last words is. She's saying how the dudes like just left him for dead, how he didn't really have anyone real around him. Have anyone that was close to the situation or that been there spoke to her? Because it seems like she's hurt a bit, but she's also making it seem like Vaughn was with a bunch of disloyal, jealous dudes who just allowed him to die in the street and get shot down like a dog.
All right. That is completely false. First of all, no disrespect to Asian Doll. And we spoke this morning because I seen some of the tweets and some of the stuff, and I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, bro, I know you mourning and you hurt like everybody else, but you need to slow down, because one, you wasn't there. So how can you make assumption and accuse guys of doing this and that? And the last words that she's talking about, and it's in a text message, and I can show you, she's talking about she's talking to Vaughn through her spiritual advisor from after death.
Wait, wait. So this is what she tweeted. She tweeted, Vaughn's last word was, y'all let them niggas get up on me. Stop crying. Y'all let them get me. As if Vaughn was talking to his homie saying,
hold on, Ak. I'm gonna show you right now. I got it right here. Bro. This is, it's a Asian doll, right?
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah.
Her text message clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked to Vaughn on a spiritual level with a spirit reader, and he's letting shit be known. He's talking for sure, and he feel y'all shouldn't let him he feel y'all shouldn't let them get him. Facts. So you talking to the dead now, Asian doll. So Vaughn on the afterlife is telling Asian doll these facts, guys. The same tweet you guys seen, oh, he called, y'all let the guys get me, get all the O-block chains.
Hey, let me ask you,
from the afterlife with a spiritual reader. And I don't know if you've seen the messages. I'm not making it up,
bro. No, I believe it. Hey, was Vaughn and Asian doll like really close right before his death? Because
no, it wasn't. Vaughn didn't have anything to do with Asian doll.
Because she's acting like they were lifelong partners, like they were married, like, you know, like inseparable.
No disrespect to doll. Vaughn moved on, and Vaughn was doing other things. He cared for her because he's a very loyal guy. So of course he wanted the best for her. He brought her to certain shows, but there wasn't that. And that's why I'm so baffled and confused, because she's coming on these platforms and people knowing that they was together and was in a relationship, taking these tweets like it came from Vaughn personally. Asian doll did not speak to Vaughn before he died. Asian doll is telling me that she's talking to Vaughn on the afterlife with a spiritual reader, and Vaughn is telling her this stuff. What type of goofy shit you on, man?
So do you think it's because she's hurt or she's clout chasing?
Is she hurt? We hurt. Be hurt. Take your phone, move the phone out your hand, bro. Stop tweeting goofy shit, because you ain't making no sense at all.
So again, loosely, we don't have to get into specifics. There are also people who say this is like so, like, quote unquote messy, because they're like, maybe one of the reasons why those two groups of people, or those two artists collided and actually had a physical altercation, had to do with things that may include Asian doll just on a jealousy level with other artists. And no,
that's false. Vaughn wouldn't react over no female. He's too much of a gangster for that. It's other stuff that happens in the past, and Vaughn is a real deal stepper, gangster. And
so let me give a little more detail. So this, and also, which obviously would clear, you know, his name too. This has nothing to do with Young Boy doing a song with Asian doll, and Vaughn did a song, or was gonna do a song with Jania. That has nothing to do with this, right?
Vaughn is not no hoe, bro. No,
okay.
Absolutely not. This has to do with Vaughn being the person he is and been, and he don't like all that sneak this social media stuff. And you know, their camp used to be cool, and you know, they exchanged a couple words, and hey, they say, hey, when I catch one of them, I'm gonna treat them like a little boy. No gun violence, nothing. You're just gonna beat the hell out of him, which he did faithfully, beat the shit out of his ass.
Do you think you being a manager, you could have, because there's a video on social media of them being cool, them like, you know, whatever, like being the same Instagram video together or Instagram story. Could you have possibly squashed that? You know,
it wasn't really
got Vaughn to look past it, or at least like got them both on the phone or something like that.
It wasn't. I don't think it was really nothing to squash at. It was just more like Vaughn is just that type of person. Like, hey, bro, he's not gonna go back and forth with you, and he stay out the way, and he expect you to stay out the way. So when you on the other side is doing things, sneaky things, and doing stuff, hey, when he see you, he's standing on what he said, and that's what he said. When he see whoever on that side, he's gonna treat the shit out their ass. He gonna beat them up. and that's what it was. Now, could it been avoided because it wasn't worth his life? 100%. Like I told you when I called you from the hospital, I called it ignorance at its best. That's what it was. Because one, for you to be a superstar, taking care of your family should be the main priority. And that go for any artist, not just for Vaughn, but any artist out there. Once you get to a certain level in your life where you're the provider and you're the alpha male, you have to let certain things go because it's not needed. Because none of those things more important than your kids, than your family, than your future and your life. Because you never know how it could turn out. So it could have been easily voided to just literally let it go and just let so and so go in and he do what he do. But I can't speak on the behalf of the next man because that's how he was.
Hey,
And
before the shot was before or the guy brandished the gun or whatever, right? Was it just a fight? Was anybody else like showing
no,
weapons? Like
it's a
this
fight.
was the only guy who just so they're literally just kind of having a fist fight, whether who's winning or who's not, right? And this guy just pulls out a gun and just starts to shoot.
And just start shooting. That's people. It's 2020. Like no one fights anymore. Vaughn, my friend, he's been in jail all his life. If he got a problem with somebody, he's gonna fight. Yeah, and not saying he won't do other things, and maybe his persona and and the things that occurred with him made the other person come out like that, firing. But there's no intent for that incident to go into gunfire. Vaughn was literally trying to fight him, show him a lesson, and move on with his day. And it didn't turn out that way. But it goes to show too for that incident, and this is for anybody else, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Like, regardless if something's about to go down, you have to know who is who, what's what, like who's with, none of those was made in a analyst. Like security didn't know what was going on. His guys didn't know what was going on. He literally off instinct and just not in the right state of mind, just jumped out and went to the situation. Like I said, he didn't even know where so-and-so was. Like that's how unprepared this situation was for everybody that's claiming that, oh, everybody that was with him is so wrong and left. The man himself did not even know where that person was. He bumped into so-and-so, literally bumped into so-and-so and started fighting. And from that 1.5 seconds of fighting, shots was fired. From not even from the outside where any of the guys could have been like, oh shit, jump, bro. It came literally from the backside. The guy can't, we didn't even know the white car was with so-and-so because nobody was alert at. The only person that was alert in that car was myself, his DJ, and one more person, BJ. That was the only person. And by that time they jumped out the car, BJ having common sense, like, yo, hold on, bro. People don't fight no more. Let me go grab this thing just in case something happened. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much he was really the only person that was really, you could say, was armed enough to even situate that. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time I jumped out the car and the DJ jumped out the car, Vaughn was already one step ahead of us because we jumped out the car regularly. He leaped out the car and walked straight. That's why you could see from the camera, everybody's trailing him from the back, and I came from the side. By the time I got to the side and they're doing what they're doing, the shooter already came to the same side he was in and shot him and shot myself. And from there, Vaughn was already on the ground. And the police started shooting everything else.
So let me, because at first people thought police actually may have killed Vaughn. Hey, did the police identify themselves like, yo, hey,
oh no,
police, drop all your weapons? Because there's two. You said the other guys who shot Vaughn, right? Mm-hmm. Those were the only shots they fired, but 2 more people died. So I'm guessing maybe some confusion with the people that were with Vaughn, thinking, yo, there's more people that's trying to get us. So they probably how does
of course, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody was aware, like none of the other guys was aware of what was going on. So by the time that Vaughn reacted to the situation, like I said, he jumped out the car. I'm jumping out the car behind him. You got his DJ. You got one more person that went back to the car to prepare himself because he knows certain things like that might happen. it was already too late. That 1.5 second of him jumping out the car, bumping into so and so, the shooter already shot him from his angle, and everybody else coming coming towards him was getting shot at by the officers. The other two people that died from bullet wounds from the officers. Were they right? I wouldn't know. Were they wrong? I wouldn't know. But I know it was undercovers and wasn't no like it wasn't no shots to wound to drop weapon. It was straight execution style shots. And wrong or right, that's on a judge or whoever to decide. Is not up to me. But I do know that when you guys see everybody ducking for cover, it wasn't ducking for cover for the guy that's shooting Vaughn. Because he, after he shot Vaughn, that was it. Like he got shot right there. He was already wounded. It's shots from everywhere else that everybody was concerned of. Cars was running people over. People was getting shot. Other people was with armed weapons was in danger because police, if you had a weapon on you that day, I believe you would have got shot. That's my honest belief.
You said Vaughn was conscious when he was on the ground. Even he was trying to hold like the person to shield himself. Um, when he got to the hospital, was he conscious then? And was there any way how maybe he could have survived this?
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there, but the gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, "Hey, calm down, slow down, chill. I'm gonna be good. Just get me to the hospital." So he was very calm in the situation, which I was told. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine. But looking at the footage, that was a very close range shot and multiple close range shots. So it's God had other plans that night, and it's sad, and unfortunately, we heartbroken as a community and as family and friends that he died that way. But that's something that we can't even explain. I personally, and I know his family and his friends wish that he survived that. You know,
Was he alive at the hospital? Do you know?
I believe he died during surgery.
Okay.
So,
Communicate with his family, as you just mentioned, as a manager and someone, again, while one of the reasons why you move around with artists, and especially the artists that you move around with, you probably are no stranger to some of the things that could happen.
for sure.
In a situation like that, like, how do you even proceed? How do you communicate with people who love him or otherwise? I know he had a few guys there as well, but like, how do you handle that?
Right now, as a team, our number one focus is to make sure that his immediate family is taken care of. His mom, his sisters, his brothers. Vaughn had 2 kids. Just making sure they got a trust funds, whatever income. And Vaughn wasn't signed to nobody. He just had commitment projects with Empire, so he owns all his masters. He wasn't an artist that sold his publishing, so everything belongs to him. God, which is amazing, and it's a blessing from God because his kids and his family will be good for the rest of their life because it's not like he got to go buy his master's back or he got to go, oh, he's getting a piece of publishing. He gets everything that belongs to him. Once he recoup the project commitments that he had with Empire, he's going to be a very lucrative artist.
So I'm guessing there might be more music to come later, right? If the family so wishes.
For sure, Vaughn have 9-10 videos with him, with his artists. He have 2 more projects on he could drop. Vaughn was an artist that work ethic was phenomenal. So he overworked everybody in the building. So he have a lot of music. And just to clear a couple of rumors, I see that some of the rumors going on that so and so family, some of the family saying that his acquaintance stole.
Yeah. Like that they went to his house, grabbed the Louis bag, and stole. Is that true?
Listen, guys, that is false, guys. Let me tell you something about these guys that's with Vaughn. Not only wouldn't they take $1 from Vaughn because he provided for them to his death, those are, how regular people have friends and they have friendships? these guys are not regular friendships. They're for some reason the O Block and the Chicago friendship is deeper than anything. Like, I'm amazed on how they move with each other. These are people that would give their life for each other, which you've seen two of them actually did. So there's no way that they would steal anything from Vaughn. And not only that, I myself made sure that the same day that Vaughn died, all 6, 7 other guys that's with him just got a deal for $50,000 each, and each of them just made 5,000 in their pockets the same night. We was celebrating Bostop's birthday and his artists or his homeboys signing. So what purpose would they have? What purpose would they need to go steal when they just made $50,000? All the guys just made $50,000 that night on signing a distribution deal for projects with Von Cosign. And that night alone, I passed out $5,000 to each individual. So there's no need for no money. And the bond that we had with the gentlemen in Vaughn, they would come to me before they have to steal. Because just like Vaughn was a provider for them, I was a provider for them. Dirk is a provider for them. So there's nobody in that house that would dare steal from Vaughn after all he have done did for them and what he's continuing to do for them even after death. That don't even make no sense. But everybody more indifferent, everybody speculating. So I can't fault the family for making assumptions, but that's not right, guys. Let's not drag the people that he stand on and the legacy he stand on, because Von's legacy was his guys. That's why everybody had O-Block chains. So everybody was around him. That's why he was on O-Block every single day. We just was in the process of buying a house for his guys, cars for his guys. Literally, all this is the process of going down in the next week or so. So this is somebody who stand on the same people y'all dragging. The same people that y'all dragging on social media is the same people he would die for and would die for him. And that's the part I don't like, because you guys are spectators. And it's not a problem to be a spectator and you have your outside opinion. But when you are dragging the same people this man lived for, you're not doing Von any justice. How are you really helping Von by dragging the same people that he lived and died for? How? They're mourning just like y'all mourning.
Have you talked to Dirk?
I spoke to Dirk a couple times.
I could imagine Dirk's going through it. He recently deleted his Instagram. How is he doing mentally?
Dirk is a very strong individual. And Dirk been through this rodeo before. And Dirk is somebody I respect and honor, and have the most love for it. Like, genuinely. He's going through a tough time right now. He's figuring it out just like we figuring it out. And unfortunately, there's nothing he could have did about it because he wasn't there, and legally he couldn't be there. And maybe if Dirk was there, he could have been that voice, because Dirk is one of the people that Von look up to and listen to. He could have been that voice that's like, hey, chill out. There's a lot of things going on. Let's do this another time. And unfortunately, I am one of the voices that Von listened to. He listened to me for about 2 years. A lot of my artists give me that respect due to my history and due to the way I move and carry myself with them. But for some reason that night, it wasn't a chance to speak. Everything happened. Like the footage you guys seen and digesting and taking critics on is 2.5 seconds of altercations. You guys are trying to make this like this was planned. His guys were supposed to know. They was there. Security was there. They had fire. Why they didn't blow? Literally, one representative came to the car. From there, 1 second later, Von was out the car. From there, 1 second later, Von was shot. And then from there, police started shooting. The night was over. What time does anybody have to even do anything? At this point, guys is shot. They homeboys getting killed in front of them. Von getting shot, police shooting. Everybody is in a state of panic because it wasn't a situation where it was digested and it was put out there in the right way. It was Von, and I love Von to death. And like I said in the beginning, Von is somebody I would put my life with. He know how to move. He carry himself great. He's one of the people that If he's in a city, he's in the club, he's watching everybody, he knows. For some reason that night, I don't know why, I really can't explain, Von did not move like Von would move. His guys didn't know what was going on. The few people that did know what was going on wasn't too quick to react because it was a fast-paced situation, guys. I can't carry no firearm. You know what I'm saying? I'm security carried my firearm. Legally, I can't carry firearm. So there's no way that the people that was in the car with him and the one person that went to get the firearm to situate him ended up getting shot by the police. So it's like, you guys got to stop making speculations going around like his guys knew what was going on and they just straight left Von. Bro, these guys will die for Von. To this day, I'll stand on that. Everybody that y'all trying to drag on the internet, y'all don't have half of the loyalty they have for Von. Y'all probably don't have half of the loyalty they have for y'all family like they have for Von. So all this going on, like they left him for dead, take off the O block chains, y'all don't know what like y'all don't even know what the fuck went on that night to even say those type of things. Half of those guys didn't even know what was going on. Then the other half was in shock. Their homeboys getting killed right in front of them. Then half of us was trying to move away from getting shot from the police. And by the time Von got shot, what from the footage, who could have possibly helped Von from the way the incident happened and got shot? It's not like the shooter was far range. He came from the side and bro, that was a blind shot. Literally, the shooter was as close as Von like this. Me, Von, the shooter. It's God grace that I got shot through the leg, not anything else. Because the way he was shooting, he just shot straight for Von. So you guys got to stop this, bro. Because if y'all really, if the fans, if y'all mourning and y'all really care for Von, bro, stop tarnishing his legacy. Stop. His legacy is those same guys you guys dragging. He lived and died by those guys. That's the same guys he broke $100,000 to. That's the same guys that traveled every day to the shows. That's the same guys that made sure he was protected every day. Those are the same guys that's mourning right now, lost, completely lost, tarnished, heartbroken from an incident that happened. And you guys are not doing any justice by dragging everyone, bro. Please,
Hey,
like, send your condolences.
what do you say to, certain people who say, yo, now because of this is like a Chicago versus another region. And, we saw like other Chicago artists, they're like, yo, they pulling up and like, do you see this escalating? Or do you think at this point, this could be handled in a way where we're not losing the lives of more Black men?
Honest truth, I can't speak for his acquaintances and I can't speak for the individuals that feels a certain way about the incident because I'm not them. What I can say is that we've seen where violence and we've seen where taking things through the extreme gets everyone. We lost a real good-hearted person who not only cared for strangers, not only cared for his guys, cared for his family, cared for his fans. This is someone who stood on loyalty and respect and principle. So all I can say is that I don't want to lose any more guys like him. I don't want to lose any acquaintances of mine. I don't want to lose anybody from Chicago. I don't want nobody to put themselves in a position to where they could get incarcerated or they could lose their life. It's deeper than an altercation that happened. Yes, he lost his life, but losing your life is not going to bring his life back.